Hello everyone, it's me, Juni, and I'm here in the studio at Studio V, and you're going to have to excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold, and a little bit dressed up today because I had to go to a meeting. But in any case, today I'm going to share with you some of the tools that I use in my camera bag. Many people think I use a lot of expensive equipment to get some great shots, but the honest truth is I'm a bargain hunter and I buy the best thing that I could use with what I could afford. So I wanted to open up my camera bag, show you what I actually carry around with me when I go on location shoots, and also show you some of the stuff that I actually use here in studio as well. Basically, to start off with, in my camera bag, I basically carry a backpack. It's a backpack I bought over at a camera store. It holds all my equipment. I was going to Boston one day and doing a shoot out there with a girl I met on Model Mayhem, and I wanted to bring some lights and my camera, and I really didn't want to bring like a whole slew of stuff, so I needed one bag to fit everything in there. So it's kind of a neat little bag. Holds my laptop right in here. My flash accessories or my lights are right in here, and right here I've got my camera gear. Basically my lenses are in here. It's got little slots for cables and wireless remotes and things of that nature. So pretty much I take this bag with me. This is what I throw in the back of my car when I'm going on a trip, or if I need to do a location shoot. So it's a pretty nice handy little bag. Runs about 100 to 150 bucks, and you can't go wrong with it. So and it's very, very sturdy. So and inside, basically, as far as camera usage is concerned, when I came back into the business after a 10-year hiatus, I was shooting film, when I was shooting professionally in the 90s. And so when I came back, this was really the second digital camera I've ever bought. My first one was like a Hasselblad digital back that cost me $45,000. This particular one is the Nikon D90. It suited my needs at the time when I came back in the business. I'll probably upgrade from this to a full frame, or maybe just something a couple steps above this. But I still use this for most of my shoots. I've used this when I was shooting for Miss Asia USA and for Miss Latina Global. I shot the catalogs with this. I used the kit lens, which is the 18 to 55 millimeter 3.5. 3.5, 5.6. And I also have a 55 to 200. Again, it's another kit lens or a standard zoom lens that you buy. But I use this for all my portrait work. From time to time, I'll borrow lenses from a friend of mine. He'll loan me his 85 millimeter 1.8, which is a great lens. But to be honest with you, I make do with what I've got. So that's something I try to teach people is, hey, look, make do with what you can afford. Make do with what you can with what you've got. I also carry two speed lights. I use an SB600 Nikon, and it's a nice little flash. It's compact. This is my second one. I dropped the first one, so that broke. I've actually dropped this several times, but it's pretty sturdy, so I rely on it a lot. This costs you about $250 for Nikon. I'm not sure what the Canon brand is. I think it's a 580EX. But then I also have the Young Noah. This one's for Canon and Nikon. The Young Noah YN560. This cost me about $95. It didn't really cost me much, and it does, just as good enough work as this one, as this one does, because it's a fully manual flash, and for the most part, I hardly use the TTL on this thing. But these are the two units that I carry in my camera bag. A lot of times on location, I'll use speed lights versus strobes. Unless I need more power, then I'll bring strobes with me. I also carry wireless remotes with me. There are others out there that like pocket wizards. I didn't want to spend the money on something that was going to just basically trigger off a flash. So, pocket wizards, I believe, run you about 200 bucks for a transmitter and a receiver. When I found these, a friend introduced me to the wireless remotes. These cost me under 50 bucks. One transmitter and two receivers. So, 200 bucks or $400 versus 50 bucks, right? So I decided to use these, and these have lasted me a long time. They're 4 channels. I go about 30 feet with it. I think the Pocket Wizards go about 100 yards or some ridiculous number like that. I'm not really sure. I could be wrong on that. But, I don't need to go that far. Okay. And I use these both in outdoors and or on location and in the studio. It's a really simple unit to use. I just stick it's also got a flash mount or a PC. And basically I just stick my flash unit on there. This goes on the shoe mount of my camera. And basically just fire away. Flash you guys. There you go. But these are handy units to have. I usually have about 2 transmitters and 4 receivers. I don't use them all though. I have battery charger where there's no batteries in there right now, so I usually charge up some AA's for my flash units. Obviously, wherever I go, wherever you go, you should always have your battery charger for your camera. An extra battery, as a matter of fact. I also carry these flash gun accessories, which I love most. These are really neat units. First of all, I bring an umbrella adapter for my speed light, and I don't really use an umbrella much for my speed lights, but I will mount my speed light onto this adapter, and then this basically fits on top of a stand, like a light stand, and now I could adjust this any way I want. Okay, so that way I can move my light around and trigger my flash off on in another direction or from another direction. Let's say I want to do a side light and I can't do that with the flash mounted on my camera. I need to move the flash off to the side. So that's what that little adapter is for. I carry these flash gun accessories. It comes with a mini beauty dish, which I put a sock over. And I use this a lot for doing events. Like if I'm doing like a reception or some sort of party, I'll use this on my flash. It actually fits on an adapter like this. They make different varieties for different flashes. So this one goes on my speed light, mounts just like that, and now I have a nice little mini dish that gives me a softer quality light. The other thing I could do with this is with my flash gun accessories, I could then add things like barn doors. So if I want to manipulate the light, unfortunately this one has lost the barn door. The ones that I actually sell on my website, they're actually metal, so they're actually screwed on to the unit. So it's actually a better barn door. This one I just happened to lose during a photo shoot, but I still use it anyhow. I can manipulate the light so I could thin out the light that way. So when the light comes out, it just comes out. I don't know if you can see it there in the light, but it just comes out through that tiny hole right there. So I could do that. I could also use grids or a snoot rather, so that the light would be a lot more snooted. So if you look at my hand, so if I just wanted to do a shot of my hand, I don't know if you can see that on film there, it just snoots it in just one area. If I just want to do my face, it just does it in one area. So it's a cool little unit, and it comes with different grid spots, or honeycombs rather. It comes with different honeycombs, like different size holes that fit right on top of this. That's a neat little snoot. Then it comes with the grid as well, which is kind of cool, So if I just want to do a spot on the face and not let the rest of the light fall off onto my jacket here, I could just do a spot on my face. So it's kind of a neat unit. Wish I had a model here so I could show you. But yeah, this is kind of random, so it's kind of interesting. I use this for headshots or portraits. You really don't want to use it for family portraits because it doesn't give you enough spread. But I also use it during when doing table shots though. They actually soften the light a little bit more. So this unit right here goes over this part, flips right on there. Now I have myself, I guess it's about a 10-inch softbox. Oh, not even that. Got myself a nice little softbox now. And this part right here fits on my flash. You really don't want to attach this to your camera because it's gonna look funny. You know, if you put down your camera, I mean, look how huge that thing looks. You really want to put it on a stand, or put it, you know, you're gonna have to have a wireless remote on it, and then put it on a stand. And that's how that usually works. It's a lot better for you, and you're not gonna look like a doofus walking around with this big box on top of your camera. So that's part of my flash gun accessory kit right there. The other thing that I also carry with me that's very cheap and really handy are A-clamps. They're A-clamps because they look like the letter A. You want to go to Home Depot. They're about $2 a piece. Buy as many of these as you can because I guarantee you, you'll never have enough. Okay? And they're really, you know, they really grip things very well. You could attach, if you shoot product or still life, they're a great way to attach mirrors. And when you're bored or if you're just, you know, waiting for a model, you can actually use it to exercise because they're really, really tight. I usually bring, you know, power strips with me. So if I am using strobes, power strips are handy. These are handy around the studio because there's never enough outlets in the studio. And then I also bring extension cords. So if I'm on location and I need to get some power, you never know how far the nearest outlet's going to be. Tape, you always want to bring tape with you. Go to Target or something like that. Just buy yourself a roll of duct tape. Works just as fine as, you know, photographer's tape that you'll buy at a photo store. You know, it's $3 at Target. It's probably $16 for a roll at a photo store. So now the other thing I use a lot is foam core. And I generally like to buy foam core. You could buy them at the 99-cent store, for crying out loud. Or if you want to spend the money, go to an art store. But I generally take, you can see this one's already beat up. I've used it quite a bit. But if you take this foam core piece, take 2 pieces, you could buy white tape at Target for about $3, and then tape them together. You now have yourself a nice reflector. There's a light in front of me right here, and if you can see my face, if I just bring this up, you know, it basically gives me a nice reflection. But this is something I like to use if I want something a lot softer than using a really heavy reflector. If you notice, I also bought some reflective tape. Again, Target. Reflective tape, I put it across here so it gives me just a little bit more sparkle in my eye, okay? Or in your model's eye, rather. So I put a little bit of that there. But foam core, you can never have enough foam core. You can also use it to flag light. So if you need the flag light, you could always use it for that as well, okay? Stands. I always have like a bag stand, or, you know, a bag filled with, you know, with at least 2 stands when I go on location. I don't like to carry too many stands because it gets heavy, but I'll also carry a reflector arm with me, and this will basically hold my reflectors for me. So I can just simply attach it to this, and then now I can move my reflector wherever I want to. There's a couple of different reflectors out there, but so there you go. You know, I take this stand now. It becomes my assistant, you know, out in the field. So there's another type of stand I use. Is this one. These are really light. These are the Linko stands. They're very light. Make sure you buy stands that are light because when you're shooting on the beach, they tend to get heavy. But you know, this is another reflector arm that I use. This one's very light as well, so I usually bring this with me because I don't have the benefit of having an assistant with me wherever I go. But in any case, that's pretty much what I have in my camera gear. You know, when I go on location or if I'm shooting in studio, I try to keep it as light as possible. Again, use what you've got. Use what you can afford. You don't need to go out there and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to buy photo equipment. As a matter of fact, I could show you how to even start your own studio with less than $500. So if you have any questions, you know, email me at jbbphoto@yahoo.com. Again, it's jbbphoto@yahoo.com. Make sure you subscribe to my videos because I'll be posting more videos, more demos, and more videos from my workshops that are going to be coming up. All right, talk to you soon.